So the children's show Bluey, which is the biggest YouTube channel. It is the most viewed show on all of YouTube, Bluey. Now, Bluey is apparently in trouble. Why? Well, because it's the center of a row, according to Deadline Hollywood, after ABC and BBC Studios edited an episode to address concerns about fat shaming. It was a season 3 episode. It was titled Exercise, and it featured Bluey's father, Bandit, embarking on a fitness regime after he stands on the bathroom scales and grabs his paunch. Here's what it looked like.
Oh, man.
What?
Bluey!
Why did you say, oh, man?
I just need to do some exercise.
Tell me about it.
Oh, found you. Why don't you just do some exercise?
Same old reason, Bluey. You kids and work.
Okay, so apparently that right there is terrible. That's terrible. No man has ever looked at his weight on the scale and thought, man, I need to do some exercise. And it's bad if you tell men to do exercise if they are paunchy. Very, very bad. And this is insane. Okay, the fact that they had to edit this, they didn't have to. They're just cowards. ABC said, quote, the recent episode of Bluey Exercise has been republished by ABC following a decision by the makers of the program. The new version provides families with the opportunity to manage important conversations in their own way. So they've now updated and they've created a revised version. That is insane. I'm sorry, that is maybe the least offensive thing I've ever seen on a children's show, is a dad going to the scale. This is pretty much me every morning with my kids, by the way. It's like, I get on the scale, I'm like, God, Daddy's a fatso. Dad needs to go exercise. Like, what is wrong with that? Is there something deeply wrong with it? Apparently, there's something deeply wrong with that, and we are an oversensitive idiot society. So I guess that we have to ban that sort of thing for teach the children they can be a member of the opposite sex. Yes. Teach kids that sometimes daddy and mommy need to lose a little weight. Very bad. Too judgmental. Terrible. Okay, well, speaking of terrible parenting, story from Page 6 today. And I got to say, this Darwinian genetic bottleneck that we have hit in Hollywood is amazing. I mean, I've never seen anything remotely like it. The natural selection mechanism never accounted for the idea that there would be a group of people who apparently are involved in a genetic bottleneck so that all of their children are queer. All of them. And that's strange that Darwinian evolution would then produce an entire generation of people who are predominantly attracted to people not of the opposite sex and therefore incapable of natural procreation. Weird that Darwin would do that. Weird that natural selection would work that way. I mean, it's never worked that way anywhere in the animal kingdom or literally anywhere else on Earth, but that's how it's now working. Marcia Gay Harden has now revealed that all of her children are queer, and they teach her every day. The Oscar winner, 63, felt compelled to share the revelation during the Drag Isn't Dangerous, a digital fundraiser live telethon over the weekend. She said, what drives me is because it's right, and what's happening right now is wrong. What drives me is my children are all queer. All of them. Well, might that have something to do with the parenting, with the environment in which the kids grew up? Or were they it was like Spider-Man. They were basically bitten by the radioactive queer spider, and all of them turned queer. Like, what exactly happened here? What was the genetic bottleneck that led to this? Did you just reproduce with a dude, and for some reason it was like the recessive recession gene just kept hitting, and everybody ended up queer? Is that what happened here, according to you? Is like a DC comic where you're all messing around, you're like the vat of toxic chemicals, you fell in and everybody emerged queer? Like, what exactly is the story that leads all of your children, not one, not two, all of them to be queer? My eldest child is non-binary. My son is gay. My youngest is fluid, she continued. And you know they are my kids. They teach me every day. That's strange. Or alternatively, actually, you are just parenting in a particular way, and that has an impact on your kids. I know, shocking. But we're supposed to believe this is all. The reason, by the way, that the biology argument is so fundamental to the LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign notion is because if anybody ever acknowledged the reality, which that all human behavior is a combination of biological inclination and environment, and when you have an outside social contagion that is defining people's gender identity and sexuality in new and shocking ways, in huge percentages, if anybody ever acknowledged that, then they might have to come to grips with the fact that the social pool in which we all swim has an impact on kids. And then we might all have a say in how that social pool actually is created and what sort of chemicals are put in the social pool. Because the basic idea of LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign until very recently was, it doesn't matter what we do in society, a certain percentage of people are just naturally going to be LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign. And so we can do whatever we want. If we just spice the water with all sorts of propagandistic social experimentation, it won't have any impact on the kids because it's all biological. But if it turns out that that pool actually has some impact on the kids, then maybe society does have something to say about drag queen story hour being read to 5-year-olds. Maybe. This family feels like pretty good evidence that environment has something to do with something here. Summer is just around the corner. That means the grilling season has finally arrived. Yes. Like most Americans, you're probably not wild about spending half your annual salary buying meat at the grocery store, especially considering that 85% of it comes from overseas. Well, here is some good news for you. When you subscribe to Good Ranchers, you're not only going to get high-quality, amazing meat at an excellent price, you will also get meat that comes from American farms and ranches. Inflation is on the rise. Good Ranchers is locking in your price for 2 years. Imagine if you could have locked in your price 2 years ago, you would have saved hundreds of dollars. You need to change the way you buy meat. Now is the perfect time of year to do so. Head on over to GoodRanchers.com. Use code Ben for $30 off any box. With Good Ranchers, you can rest easy knowing that you're feeding your family with 100% American, locally sourced meat delivered straight to your door. That is promo code Ben at GoodRanchers.com for $30 off your order. GoodRanchers.com, promo code Ben. Good Ranchers is American meat delivered. By the way, I know their meat's amazing because they actually went out of their way to make me a kosher steak. One of the best steaks I ever had in my entire life, grilled right before me. It was delicious. Again, head on over to GoodRanchers.com, $30 off your order when you use promo code Ben. Genucell is dedicated to helping you find the perfect Mother's Day gift this year. To prove it, they are offering over 70% off their most popular package. Plus, for the first time ever, Genucell is including both the Ultra Retinol and Dark Spot Corrector with every purchase of their most popular package. Don't miss out on this amazing deal just in time for Mother's Day. Genucell's Ultra Retinol contains a powerful retinol alternative safe to use on your skin in the summer sun. Their Dark Spot Corrector helps reduce the appearance of dark marks and sunspots. Yeah, I've seen in the comments, folks, you'd think that I am aging like fine wine because I am, and Genucell is one of those reasons. I've been using their products for almost a decade. If you don't believe me, take a listen to this ad read all the way back in 2014. Folks, I got to tell you, I haven't been getting a whole heck of a lot of sleep lately. We've got termites in the house, and I've been doing a fair bit of traveling, and that means I'm waking up super early, and I would normally have the bags and the puffiness under my eyes. Well, that's why I've been using the new Genucell serum with stem cell technology from Chamonix. Yes, that young, vibrant human is now me. Go to Genucell.com/Shapiro. Save over 70% off Genucell's most popular package during their Mother's Day sale. Plus, you get a complimentary Spa Essentials box with every package order from now until Mother's Day. Genucell will even give you a free upgrade to priority shipping. That's Genucell.com/Shapiro. Again, Genucell.com/Shapiro. There are a myriad of clips of people beating each other up over race. Unfortunately, they're disproportionately black on white. Okay, the media narrative is typically that interracial violence is white on black. That is not true. Interracial violence, to whatever extent it exists, and it does exist, but not nearly to the same level as intra-racial violence. But interracial violence is typically black on white. Well, this sort of video tends to emerge, and it demonstrates how group justice thinking telescopes down into individual instances. It's really ugly. So this is going viral on TikTok. It is a video of a young black man confronting a young white man. Apparently, the young white man, we have no idea what the context was, said the N-word. He could have been saying it in a rap, totally unclear why. He's attempting to apologize to the young black man who is obviously sort of being egged on by the people surrounding because, again, group justice must be upheld. The group must be validated. Starts beating the living hell out of this kid.
Tell me you're sorry. What you sorry for, nigga? What you sorry for? Why, nigga? Why you sorry for that? It's disrespectful as to me and my whole people. All these here, all these niggas right here, bro. And you're talking crazy, bro. Like that's crazy for you to say. You know that not okay, bro. You know that. Why you say that? Why you say that? You know that. You know. Hey, Patrick.
I'm sorry. It's just madness. It's just madness. But this is what happens when the values of group justice tribalism predominate. They're telescoped down into individual instances. And it gets really, really ugly. What's amazing mostly about that clip is that the young black man who is beating up the young white man who's attempting to apologize to him repeatedly, he keeps using the N-word and telling the young white man why he can't use the N-word. Okay, all of this is really, really bad for American society. There is a reason. This is what happens, frankly, when you get away from the individual biblical values that matter. Leviticus 19:15 makes this very clear. It's a very weird section of Leviticus where it's talking about the qualities you're looking for in a judge. And to modern ears, it sounds strange because what the Bible actually says is that you shall not do injustice in judgment. Okay, what does that mean? It says you shall not be partial to the poor, nor shall you honor the person of the mighty. In righteousness shall you judge your neighbor. So what exactly does that mean? Again, it goes out of its way to suggest that you are not allowed to pervert justice in favor of the poor. You're not allowed to use group distinctions in order to determine whether justice is carried out. You know, this notion that because you're a member of a victimized group, that you get to lie in a rape case, or because you're a member of a victimized group, you get to be let off the hook if you are a victimizer. All of this is garbage. And a biblical society used to believe this. Again, this notion that you are supposed to judge everybody fairly is an individual notion, but we are a group justice society, and the results of that are really, really ugly. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show continues right now. You're not going to want to miss it. 12-time NCAA All-American swimmer Riley Gaines will be on the show to discuss her experiences being excised from the good graces of society for mentioning that she shouldn't have to race against giant dudes. If you're not a member, become a member, use code Shapiro. Check out for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click the link in the description and join us.